My hog showing. Wife got me a new shirt. We are so excited to be here and thank you for coming and showing up today. We've had a really great 2 days. Traveled up here practiced on Christmas morning in Shell's practice, and then traveled up here and the AutoZone Liberty Bowl folks have been so outstanding. I want to say this to Ryan Silverfield and Memphis. It's been chilly out there, and they gave us access to their indoor, which they didn't have to do that. And I'm understand. I think Kansas used it as well, but they didn't have to do that, and they did it. And that's really what the coaching world's all about. And opening up that was outstanding by them. We want to thank them for that. Went to Dave and Buster's yesterday. That was fun. And then today we had an FCA banquet this morning that some of the guys attended, and now we're here. But certainly excited to be here and excited to be with y'all. Merry Christmas late to you, but to everybody, and be happy to take any questions you might have.
Coach, I was curious about what the roster, special teams.
Yeah.
Is that a concern with having to put somebody in place?
Well, I think yes. I think there's going to be new faces and guys that haven't played in the games. Now, we've always been a 3 and 4 deep practice special team roster as it is. So yes, I think there's definitely concern about special teams. Some of our starters are going to have to play a few more special teams than what they had in the past. Normally we have a starter that needs to play on 1. He may need to play on 2 or 3 this particular game. But that is definitely a concern for us. We're going to be as aggressive as we can be on our special teams for the game as well. I don't know if Kansas is in the same boat as we are or not. I don't feel like they are. I feel like they've not lost quite as many as we have. But with that comes opportunity. I'm excited for the kids to go out there and get their opportunity to play, and they're excited about it. You can feel the excitement from the team.
With the numbers also important maybe on defense.
I think when you go into a regular game, you have a certain number of DBs, a certain number of linebackers, a certain number of D linemen that you're going, these guys are going to play. I think we still feel good about those numbers. In other words, we might have 7 D linemen that we think we can go win the game with, and we still have those guys. I think it would be different if we were sitting here in a week's time where we weren't really ready and didn't know and didn't get these guys, the Jalen Lewises and the guys like that probably wouldn't quite be ready in a week's time, where you're looking at 10 practices and you're feeling a lot better about them. So I think we're going to be fine. I think the fourth quarter has something to do with it. I think you're making valid points, but I still think we have enough players that we feel can play winnable football for us that we're feeling pretty good about the game. Yeah.
Yesterday, he said practice was amazing. You couldn't be proud. So I'm wondering, with a lot of your faces in there, have you guys been on point? Clean, efficient practice, that kind of stuff?
Not at the beginning, to be honest with you. We're cutting people loose, some things of that nature, which you kind of expect. As long as it's not the effort or the want to, that's why they hire us, trying to fix problems. But, for Dalton to come back, I think that's a huge deal. Something said, with some of the negativity of the portal and this, that, and the other. Look, if they don't want to be here, they need to go and see if it's grass is greener somewhere else. I understand that. But with Dalton and coming back and things of that nature, I thought that was says something about our program and the things he says about our program. But practices have been outstanding. I told him the other day, this isn't the new Arkansas team. This is just Arkansas. Everybody that's here has been on our football team all year. So it's not a new team that we're going to run out there with. It's our team. And we're not making any excuses, none. We've got enough good players on our football team that we can go out and win a football game. And that's the expectation we have and the players have. But we're not new. We've all been on the football team all year. You're going to see a few faces that you're not familiar with, but the practices have been lively and they have been physical, and Dalton was 100% correct.
Super motivated. First ball in a long time.
Yeah.
Not motivated, right?
Yeah. So are we. Absolutely. Well, we're motivated. It's not like we've been bowl eligible our first 3 years, and I'll go back and stand on. I believe we deserve that recognition in our first year, winning 3 conference games, just like we did this year. But I understand. Listen, Kansas is going to be ready because they got a great football coach. I like Coach Leipold's a freaking great football coach. He is. They're excited. They're going to be ready, but hell, two teams can be excited, and I know we are. And so I know they will be, and shoot, they should be. 2008, and that's kind of like last year with us. It'd been a minute since we'd been out there. But I can promise you we'll be ready to play. I think I'm sorry, Bob. I think it's by committee how we've kind of done it with the defensive guys we have. Trump's come in and helped us coaching in the secondary as well. But I think our football team feels like, again, it goes back to Trey's question. I think it would matter to us a little bit more if we only had a week, to prepare for that. But it's not only the number of practice have basically doubled in a half that you can have for this game, but it's also our coaches had more time to prepare for this game. Now, Lord knows there's been a lot of stuff going on in college football. I mean, unbelievable amount of things. You'd think I'd be skinny, right? I mean, I didn't have no time to eat, but I'm holding don't worry, I'm holding my weight good, but there's a lot of stuff going on out there, but we've had plenty of time. What I'm trying to tell you is there's no excuse for what happens tomorrow. None. We've had plenty of time to get ready for this game. Mike Shear's a capable football coach. He's going to call the game, and we got enough players to go out and win the game. And so I think the guys have been very excited about some of the new things that Mike and the defensive staff have brought, some different looks and things of that nature that we brought to the table to maybe hopefully to try to confuse Kansas a little bit. That's right. Well, all those guys have played a lot of ball, including Crawford. Tykees just had played a little bit more tackle. We'll move him inside, which I think he's a little more comfortable with, But Bo, to be perfectly honest with you, we were going to the sell with bringing Bo back was center, and it is the true sell. I mean, they're going to keep 8 in the NFL. A guy who plays guard that can't play center is not going to have near the value. And so we sold that to Bo to come back. And for this to happen, Ricky decided not to play. For him to go in there and get this extra 10 practices at center, I think will be very valuable to him. He's kind of a natural in there. He's a really good player. I believe that's his NFL position. Obviously, we couldn't move him over there because we were fortunate to have Ricky. But I think it's going really well. Obviously, when you lose one of your key guys in the middle that's running everything, now your depth becomes one less, or you have to amp up somebody. So there may be a little concern there, but I think we'll be fine. The practice have gone good. He snapped the ball well, made the right calls. And the thing with him was we had to get him comfortable. It's a totally different ball game, snapping the ball than not snap. It just is. You have to run the offense. And I think we've had enough practice for him to be comfortable in a game situation. He is. Well, I think first of all, I think he understands how to recruit to his system, what he wants to get done. To do what he's done at Kansas, and Kansas has had some good football teams as well. They have Coach Mangino when he was there, man, they were rolling. But it's been a minute, and for him to come in and do what he's done at all, I have so much high respect for him because he's done it at every level, sort of like a Jerry Kill. Jerry Kill, did it at this level, that level, this level. That's what he's done as well. And so obviously what he has as far as his coaching staff and his expectations for his program and things of that nature are outstanding. You can take a lot of coaches and you name the school and you name 4 or 5 schools up here and they can have success because of the name of the school. Now they may not be able to win a national championship, but they're going to have success. Going into Kansas and having success, that takes a ball coach. And I just admire him. I admire him as a man, and I'm looking forward to going out there and competing. But the bottom line is that Kansas is in good hands with him, and hopefully they can keep him for a long time because I think the program, obviously, in some of the teams that they've beaten this year, last year, I think it's shown exactly what kind of football coach and staff and his players, his team that they have. They're very fortunate to have him. I do. I think it's all about confidence. Like I said before, I think Rocket was a wide receiver playing running back early in his career, and now he's a running back playing running back. And I think it takes a while to read, to understand the offense. You didn't do it in high school, so you don't understand it all. I think Jimmy's done a great job with his report, his back and forth with Rocket as far as his teaching techniques and all those things. But I think a confident Rocket Sanders is he's big, 230, can run, he's fast. But he needed confidence. It's amazing, guys. It's amazing all the things that go into college students, and what's going on in their mind and what's going on with their body, nutrition, all these different things. Rocket's on top of all that stuff. So I think all that's kind of helped him as well get to this point. I expect him to have a good game tomorrow. Well, obviously we have some portal scholarships that we need to fill. And so I think the biggest part for him was evaluating what's on our football team, where we need to go and get some help. Again, I've explained help can be in, we need starters, help can be, we need depth, help can be in whatever it is. But I think it was very important for him to get around. We did not have him coach anybody. He was all evaluations. We do have several portal transfers we need to bring in. So that he's been doing that a lot, but a lot of us get to know some of the coaches on the staff and his evaluation of our players. And that's what he's done. He's here at the bowl and all those type things. And so that's been his role. And I tell you what, he's a breath of fresh air. He's very confident. I know he can recruit. Those were some things that were very important to me. And especially in the new portal wave now that you're going to have 30, 35 new players on your team every year. I mean, every year the crowd's going to go crap fan base is going to go, we're losing the team and all that. Well, they're going to do it next year too, because we're going to have 35 or so new faces on the team. That's just how it is. You wish it wasn't that way, but that's how it is right now. And you're going to need recruiters and obviously guys that can coach, but a good recruiter usually is a good man, a guy that can relate to the players, and hopefully we can keep a few more of them from going in the portal if we want them, if we want to keep them. I do. I mean, it's fun when you're going through, like our season last year, and you're beating LSU and you're beating A&M, and it's fun. Those are fun, and then the expectations rise. And for us this year, we lost 4 games by 9 points, and I think we disappointed everybody. We disappointed the fan base. Obviously, we were disappointed. We feel like we can possibly do some damage control if we can go win this game. We want to win in a bowl. There's not a better feeling towards it, but I think Kansas is very similar with us. They have high hopes for their future, and for them to get bowl eligible, I think is obviously a huge accomplishment for their program, and I'm happy for them. Well, I don't know. I don't know what compliance will let us do with him. He can't coach, so I think he can be on the sideline, but I got to check. But I know he wouldn't be one of our accountable coaches. I don't know. I don't. We haven't decided that. We're going to decide that here in this meeting that we have here this afternoon.
There's so much to talk about. Everything's going on outside of the football game, portal, all the rest you mentioned. Is it fun for football coaches, or is this a total time just for the football itself, given a little bit of extra time, sit down and get to know and do a deep dive on film on a program? Either team gets to see very often, and just get to see what other guys are doing and really take the time from football point of view.
Yes, it is fun. Kansas is doing some really neat things offensively, defensively as well. But offensively, they got a few plays that we may try to steal. We're looking at it and run that option off the back end of their zone plays and their stretch plays. That's a really cool concept. Your linebackers can't fly with the first guy, because if they do, that tackle is going to pin him and we're in trouble. So there are some really neat things that they're doing off the back end of their read concepts. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I played ball at Pittsburgh, Kansas. I coached at Hutchinson, Kansas. I coached at KU. My wife's from Pittsburgh, Kansas. I have a lot of ties in Kansas. And you go home at Christmas and you hear, you can't either. KU is going to, stomp you, or you can't let them beat us. I got to live up here, Well, I'm glad you said I didn't really want to win until I heard that. Come on. It's kind of important for me too. I know it's important to everybody, but it's important to me, and our staff and our players. But yes, it's fun. And especially as Kansas, I'm happy for them. I am. So yes.
Following up on that, you told us Sunday night you were up there, heard Jayhawks. I'm wondering, is that part of your family, or are you just running into random?
Well, I'm running into a lot of graduates from Kansas University, they're excited. I don't know that I'd be talking a lot of trash. You know what I mean? But they're excited, and I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited for them. I just want to win the game, but yeah, I've got on our side on Jamie's side of the family, a lot of KU grads, and they got a good school up there. So. Yeah. 84. I think I did. I don't know. I don't know if I did or not. I can't remember, Trey, to be perfectly honest with you. I know where we're at right now, but I'm not for sure if I did or not. Scholarships are different in that if they don't graduate at Christmas, then you can't use them in January. And so, a lot of these guys, maybe I tried to apply the scholarship and then I was told, well, to go a whole year, you get one half. In other words, you get one that you can half and then put another guy on half. You get one in like a 5-year period. And we've already used that one. So I don't know if I did apply that or I just saved it for January. Mhm.
Think it's maybe not they stop doing transfer portal in December and said, hey, my transfer, you gotta wait till spring. Think that would maybe discourage them? You think that's
Make our life. Let me say, yes, I think that's a good idea. I mean, I think guys are spitting out some pretty good ideas, on how not to have bowl practice portal, NIL, all these things that's going on. I do want to say this. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm the head coach at Arkansas. So whatever is thrown on us, we're going to go attack it. But I do think there's probably better ways. And it's the first year of all this, all of it together. There are probably better ways for us to attack this thing. And I think the AFCA and the coaches will get together and kind of figure out a little less stressful environment where you're doing all these things. Cause then when you throw in, you're losing coaches too, and for good reason, head coach, coordinator. Now you're trying to hire guys. The problem right now, Trey, with all this, and you're talking about portal, the problem right now is instead of us going into high schools all the time, like we should be, half the time we're on our own campus having an official visit with a portal guy. And it's going to hurt high school recruiting. It's not going to kill it, but it's going to, the lower level, let's say the MAC schools, things of that nature, where I was involved at Western Michigan and Northern Illinois. I think it's going to hurt the kids that are going to those. I don't know it's going to hurt the kids going to Arkansas and Ole Miss and Kansas and wherever, but I think it's going to hurt high school kids with the possibility of going playing in the MAC and playing in wherever it may be. And something's got to be done there. And I think that's a good start, you're going to make a decision. Let's make it in a year. Let's make it the end of spring ball and figure it out. I think that would be something that would help all of us, including the high school recruiting. Yeah, well, they were coaching him for 5 days, 6 days. Now I think he's comfortable enough with the offense that he's given them some pointers. Technique wise, he's always been able to help them with that. But I think he's becoming, at first you're almost like a fish out of water, to be perfectly honest. When the kids know more ball than you do, as far as, what we're running and things, you don't want to say something because you don't want them to say, well, man, that's wrong. You know what I mean? So you're kind of a fish out of a water for a minute. And then you get back in there and you start becoming comfortable. I've noticed he's coaching more and more. He's a dang fine really good football coach. I think his demeanor is exactly what we needed. And I know his coaching ability is exactly what our kids needed. So he's doing good and he's doing a good job recruiting. So I think we got us a dandy there. Yes. Yes. I did. And then Kyle said, you better not. So that was yes. And then Kyle said, any more questions? Kyle, thank you. Because that is going to sell some hits if I kept going, but I'm not. Thank you. Loved it. Short. Terry Allen was the coach. We'd gotten fired at Missouri, and I was down getting some chew at the gas station, and for my wife, and she's got to quit at some point, but then I got a call from Terry, and he said, "Come on over," and I went over there and interviewed with him, and I never had a 2-year contract. I asked for one, and he gave it to me. I mean, it was a shock, and he gave it to me, and he told me the money, and I asked for more. Now that's how dumb I am. I didn't have a job, so I shouldn't have done any of those things. And he gave it to me, and we really liked Lawrence. They got a beautiful campus, and we were there. And as soon as we got bowl ineligible, we got whacked. I mean, like tick, tick, 1-0, boom, whack. And I think we played our last 3 games maybe. But Kansas was very good to me. Roy Williams was the head basketball coach there, and I love him. And I had a relationship with him. Him and Coach Allen were very close. And being close to home where my parents could come see us play and things of that nature was a big deal. And that's what I remember about that. But that was one very short year there as we got let go, and we didn't win enough games.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. Go Hogs.